What's up, fellow humans? So today I just been working on music. Gracie's over here, my friend's dog. I usually walk her, but it was supposed to be raining all day today. It's been pretty like sprinkly, not really raining. So she's over here. Long story. You guys don't care. Anyway. So this morning I woke up and one of the first things I thought about was a friend of mine that I used to have in college. And it's unfortunate because like my life is characterized by living and dealing with like constant like flashbacks or bad memories. Like I've had very little time in my life that's been peaceful, where I haven't been bombarded with bad memories about the past. So one of the ways that I'm trying to deal with that is through yoga and breathing and meditation. And music always brings me to the present moment, and usually gets me out of my head, unless I'm being critical of the way I sound or what I'm doing, which is very often. But yeah. So this morning, the first thing I thought about was a friend of mine that I had in college. She was like my best friend for a few years. And we were supposed to move in together when I bought my first place. And it was right after college. I think it was 2026 or something. And for like a year and a half, 2 years prior to that, we were always hanging out. We were always going to bars together, going to clubs together, hooking up with guys, having so much fun, just having the time of our lives. We were pretty bad influence on each other. But she ended up meeting this guy, and she ended up dating him, and I slowed down and I focused on buying this place, and she was supposed to move in and rent a room with me. And during the process of me buying that place, I got physically ill, like mentally. I had broken myself down to a point where I had become so severely like traumatized that like my skin, my face broke out in a rash. Like I had a rash on my body. It was crazy. And it was because I was so severely stressed out and depressed, that from like buying this place and being lost in life. I don't even know what happened, what it was, but she was supposed to move into that place with me, and then she saw me get sick like that, and then my biological mother came over and told her. I didn't know this until years later, but she came over and told her, you really shouldn't move in with Stephanie. She's got issues. She's probably not going to be able to, maintain and her mental health and all this stuff. And I never knew until years later when she told me, when my friend told me. But anyway, long story short, I'm not friends with this person anymore. She was a really good friend of mine. I considered her a really close, like best friends for a couple of years. And then when she saw me in that episode, and then, my biological mother went and said all that stuff, she kind of just floated off and disappeared. And she called me like years later to tell me that she was engaged after I had already moved away. I think it was probably like 3 or 4 years later. She'd tell me, or a couple years later, she called and tell me that she had gotten engaged. And it was kind of weird because it was like, well, we haven't really talked in like a year. Like, it's weird that, she's like, I was happy to hear from her. But when you look back, I was telling my friend this earlier today, because when she brought her dog over, we were talking. And when you look back at things that happened in the past, much later in life, you can see much more of the picture about what was going on. You can see it in a way that you couldn't really see it before. And maybe it's that your perspective of the world has changed and you're just thinking that you see something different. I don't know. But for me, like, looking back on it, it's like, and it's only because it happened to me again recently. It's like, she kind of split as my friend when I lost my mind, and then she pops up to tell me that she got engaged, and but anyway, I was just happy, you know, at the time I was just happy to, you know, wow, she still wants to be my friend. And I feel like maybe it's like, I feel, and it's like that with all my friends. After every single episode that I've had, it's like, it's such a scary experience to reach out to them again. Like, I feel like all of my friends and family, except for a couple of friends of mine, a couple of really good friends of mine that I'm still friends with, feel like they're waiting, like you owe them an apology, or they don't know how to call you or something. I don't know. I really feel like it's like they owe you an apology. But then, you know, and then, so I feel like I owe them an apology. This has been the past, like with my friend a couple of my friends that I'm no longer friends with, you know, I would stress out about calling them because I would be like, God, I have to apologize, you know, I must have done something in my episode. And now that I'm older and I'm looking at it in a different way, I'm like, you know what? Screw them. Like, they didn't care about me at all. Like, they didn't like call to check on me and see how I was. They're just sitting back like, oh, well, you know, she went crazy again. Just let me just, you know, distance myself. So yeah, but a friend of mine did it to me recently, where I haven't talked to her in years, and she reached out to me, and I was out of my mind the last time I talked to her, and like she never even bothered to like, hey, did you make it out of that? You know, I know you were out of your mind. Are you okay? Like, we had a weird conversation. It's just odd. It's odd how it works that way. Anyway, I went off on whatever today, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.